Walaikum assalam, Mas.
How are you today? I thought I had 9D and I started a lesson in 9D. Then I realized I Good morning, girls. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, Mas.
How are you today? I thought I had 9D and I started a lesson in 9D. Then I realized I had 9B but not 9D. So it took a minute for me to realize that. Okay, we have 5 attendees. So let's get started. Let me post the meeting details here. All right, ladies. So today we will be discussing about controlling disease by vaccination and autoimmune diseases, inshallah. So please open page number 136 and 137 from your textbooks, ladies. Right. So let's get started. Let's start with Dua Rabbi Zidni Ilma Rabbi Inni As'aluka Ilman Nafi'a, O Allah, increase us in beneficial knowledge. And the objectives for today's lesson would be to discuss about how the diseases are controlled by vaccination, and also we'll discuss about the various autoimmune diseases. All right. So under the KW, let me ask you questions from the contents we covered in the last lesson. So in the last lesson, we were discussing about the active and passive immunity, isn't it, ladies? Okay, now who's going to tell me what is active immunity? Shahid?
Yes, Mas. Active immunity is your body's natural instinct to react against the foreign pathogen. So it could either be unintentional when you come in contact with the pathogen and your body is enforced to produce antibodies against it, or it could be against, or you could get a vaccine to help, stimulate the production of antibodies in your body.
But I didn't get the unintentional part. What were you trying to say in unintentional?
When you contract the virus without, taking the vaccine, that's what I mean.
Yeah, right. So it could be of two types. It could be either by taking a vaccine or by how your body fights against that particular disease. And if your body wins, if your immune system wins, then that is your body has acquired immunity against that particular disease. So that is one of the way of getting it. Thank you so much, Ed. That was very well answered. So can we call this active immunity as natural if it is an unintentional instinct, as you just told me? So if the production of antibodies happens naturally against fighting a pathogen, then that is known as natural active immunity. All right. For example, the production of one's own antibodies or T cells as a result of an infection or natural exposure to an antigen. In this case, you haven't taken any vaccination, but your immune system is so strong and good that it has developed the antibodies and fought against the disease and also won over it. Okay, so this natural production without taking any vaccine is known as natural active immunity, whereas production of one's own antibodies or T cells as a result of vaccination is known as artificial active immunity. So we can divide it into natural and artificial depending upon whether we are taking a vaccination or not. Before I ask you further questions, let's move on to the passive immunity now again. So we are dividing it into natural and artificial again under passive immunity. But who's going to tell me first what is passive immunity? Ahead. Rawan?
It happens when the antibodies that are taken by the body are made by other organisms, like and these can divide into further natural and artificial passive immunity. This is a short-term defense to the body. As for the natural, it could be for babies when they're breastfeeding, as the milk, it contains antibodies that can help keep it immune to any disease for a short period of time. And as for the artificial immunity, these are the antibodies that are injected into the bodies that are made by other organisms. And again, they're short-term, as they do not stimulate the lymphocytes or the memory cells to start working.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Roman. Very well explained. So passive immunity is something which in which your body does not produce any antibodies, but we are taking antibodies from another organism. This is the case when your body is unable to fight against something, or the reaction is so immediate that your body does not have time to fight against it. For example, a snake bite, a rabies virus infection where a dog bites you. All right. So we cannot wait until your body responds and fights against this poison which is spreading in your body, if it is a snake bite, or a rabies virus which is already spreading in your body because of the saliva which has entered because of the dog's bite. Okay, so in such cases we have to depend on the antibodies which we need to take. So these would be like the rabies antibodies taken from the dogs or any other animal which passes the rabies virus to the humans. Similarly, for a snake bite also, we can take this particular venom from the snake itself, which helps in protecting us. So this is considered as an antibody. Similarly, we are dividing the passive immunity again into natural and artificial, depending upon the conditions. Okay, for example, if it is natural, then that is the antibodies or the immunity which we are acquiring from our mother's breast milk. When the baby is being breastfed, then the immunity is being passed on from the breast milk from the mother to the baby. This again is only till the first 6 months, so till the baby's immune system gets stronger. Till then, in order to protect the baby from any contracting diseases, these antibodies will help the baby. All right, so both of them, they are short-term. They are not long-term like the active immunity, because in active immunity, the antibodies are produced in our body itself. So we have lifelong protection now against that particular disease, whereas the passive immunity is short-lived. Either the immunity which you get from the breast milk will be for a maximum of 6 months to 2 years maybe, and also as long as you're feeding on the mother's milk, and even the antibodies will start wearing off within a short period of time. Okay, so maybe till you are to get rid of that particular disease, or till that particular infection is killed. Otherwise, in your body, there will be no production or replication of the antibodies in the passive immunity. All right. So let's discuss about the differences. Who wants to read this slide, the difference between the active and passive immunity? Ahead says, Mrs. I'm really sorry I won't be able to use my mic today, so I will be answering in the chat. No problem, Ahead. Yeah, who wants to read? Laila, would you like to read this slide?
Yes. Active versus passive immunity. Vaccination immunity, active versus passive. The active, natural. Exposure to diseases, example, measles, chickenpox. Artificial results for vaccination, example, tentacus toxide and diphtheria dioxide. Passive, natural. Placenta transmission of immunoglobulins via colostrum up to 6 weeks, and then artificial injection of antibodies, example diphtheria and tentacus antitoxin.
Thank you so much, Laila. So here the examples are given of the natural and the artificial active immunity, and the natural and the artificial passive immunity. So we were discussing about this yesterday as well. So when we are getting exposed to diseases like measles or chickenpox, if your body is fighting against it, then you have active natural immunity. Similarly, whether we are taking vaccines for diphtheria or cholera or any other disease, then that is artificial active immunity. Similarly, the colostrum, which we get, as I told you, that is produced in the mother for the first few weeks after delivery, maybe up to 6 weeks. So this is very, very rich in the antibodies. So if the child is fed on this colostrum, the child's immune system becomes very, very good. Similarly, if you are taking an injection of antibodies in order to get protection from various other diseases, that would come under passive artificial immunity. All right, ladies. So here again, you can see the difference. What is the difference between passive and active immunity? In passive immunity, you can see it is a short-term immunity. If you're taking a particular antibiotic, that will work only till that particular disease causing infection. That infection is subsided, or only those bacteria are killed. Similarly, if it is an active immunity, the immunity stays in your body till you die, meaning you have lifelong defense now against that particular pathogen. Clear, ladies? Any doubts or questions about the active and passive immunity so far? You have the pictures of active and passive immunity on your page number 135, ladies. You can go through it. Active immunity is developed after contracting pathogens and inside the body, whereas passive immunity is provided by antibodies from outside the body. So you can see the baby breastfeeding and also taking an injection as an example of passive immunity. Can someone read out the key definitions which are given on page number 135 in the box? Lujane?
Active immunity, defense against a pathogen by antibodies production in the body. Passive immunity, short-term defense against a pathogen by antibodies acquired from another individual, such as from mother to baby.
Thank you so much, Lujane. All right, ladies. So that was about the active and passive immunity. Now we are going to discuss about controlling disease by vaccination. Give me a moment. Let's also go through this presentation if we missed out or anything. Okay, we discussed about the active and passive immunity yesterday from this presentation as well. So here is the acquired immunity, which you can again divide into active and passive and further divide them into natural and artificial, which we just now discussed. All right, ladies, now we'll discuss about the diseases caused by the immune system, which in our textbook is the last subtopic on page number 127. But before that, we also have the controlling disease by vaccination part. Let's see whether we have it over here. Yeah. So we were discussing about what is vaccination and how does the vaccination work yesterday. So we'll go through these slides again so that any unanswered questions would be answered. So we were discussing about the vaccine. So if there is a question as to what is vaccination, vaccinations, they give protection against specific diseases and boost the body's defense against infection from pathogens without the need to be exposed to dangerous diseases that can lead to death. So the level of protection in a population depends on the proportion of the people vaccinated. All right. So actually a vaccine, as we discussed, is a weakened pathogen which is injected in your body. And this weakened pathogen injection, this vaccination, what does it help in? It helps in the production of antibodies in our body. It helps in the making of a defense system in our body, which protects against that particular disease. For example, if you're vaccinated against COVID-19, then we will be protected against COVID-19 throughout our life. All right. So sometimes when there is a pandemic condition right now, like we are facing, it's very, very important for the population to take vaccination, especially when it is a very infectious disease or the disease which spreads very easily. So how does the vaccination work? We have it explained in steps over here, ladies. So vaccine, it allows a dead or altered form of the disease-causing pathogen which contains specific antigens to be introduced in the body. So a pathogen in a dead or an weakened version, it is injected into our body. Then what does it do? In this weakened state, the pathogen, it cannot cause illness but can provoke an immune response. Okay, so this pathogen which has been injected, it is in a dead form, so it obviously cannot cause the COVID-19 in me. But what does it do is, this dead pathogen now which has entered in my body, it provokes my immune system, my WBC, to produce the antibodies which can fight against this pathogen, because my body does not know that this pathogen is weakened or dead. So my body is preparing itself to fight against this pathogen. All right. So the lymphocytes, they produce complementary antibodies for the antigen. So this antigen, which is a protective outer coat of the COVID-19 virus, against that, my WBC, they are producing
I can't hear you, Mas.
Ladies, can you all hear me now?
Yes, Miss.
Thank you, Lajan. I believe there was a technical issue. I got logged out of the Teams. All right, then let's continue. The memory cells. Girls, can you hear me?
Yes, Mas.
I don't know what's wrong. Did I cut off in between? Shad, can you hear me?
Yes, Mas, I can hear you now.
Uh-huh. Hello.
Miss, are you sharing a screen or something?
Am I share? Yes, I am. I have a message here which says, "Oh dear, your call has dropped. Please try." ladies, can you all hear me now?
Yes, Miss.
Oh my God. Let me start screen sharing. Yeah. Can you hear my screen now?
Oh, yes, Miss.
Okay, great. So we were discussing about how the vaccination works actually. So I was asking Ahad to tell me what are memory cells. I believe I was asking Shahid, right?
Yes, Miss.
Please go ahead.
Memory cells are produced as a result to the body fighting off the pathogen. They remain inactive until the body comes in or is exposed to the pathogen again.
Yes, perfect, Shahid. So during this process of production of antibodies, the memory cells are produced, as Shahid just now told us, and these memory cells, they remain in the blood and they will quickly respond to the antigen if it is encountered again in an infection by a live pathogen. Okay, so what happened here is, due to this vaccination, due to the weakened pathogen which has been injected in my body, now my body has created a defense mechanism, which is the production of antibodies and memory cells. So my body is ready now, so that if a live COVID-19 virus enters my body, immediately my defense mechanism will work against it and fight against it. Understood, ladies? So as memory cells have been produced, this immunity is long lasting. So this is till I die now, my body has this defense mechanism which is ready to kill or act against the COVID-19 virus whenever immune response. It can take days for a lymphocyte making complementary antibodies to be activated. And lymphocytes are able to produce complementary antibiotics. They multiply and antibodies are released. Now let me ask you a quick question. For example, I have taken a vaccine for COVID-19 today. And maybe within 2-3 days after I've taken a vaccine, I had to go out and go to a gathering, or I've been to a place wherein I have been exposed to various people. So if I contract COVID-19 virus during this time, will I be able to produce an antibody in my body already in order to fight against the COVID-19, or what? Will I get infected by COVID-19 or no? Rawan?
Yes, Miss.
Did you get my question?
Yes, Miss. I'm thinking, yes, you're gonna get infected because it takes some time for the lymphocytes to be produced and also to be able to produce the antibodies to fight the disease or the pathogen that has entered the body. So I think yes, you have to stay away from contact with anybody, with the virus for a short time until the lymphocytes they start acting.
Yes, perfect. Right answer, Rawan. So it depends on your body again. So various bodies, they react differently to the vaccine which has been taken. For example, if your immunity is very, very good, then even after that, after taking a vaccine, it will take at least 7 to 15 days for your body to prepare against that particular disease. So in the meantime, if you happen to go out, then yes, you may contradict that disease or virus because your body is still not ready with the defense system. All right, so this is a normal scenario, but again, it depends from person to person. If the vaccine is being taken by a person who is above 40-45 years of age, and if he has any existing medical conditions like heart condition or diabetes or blood pressure, so the time taken for that person to create antibodies and defense mechanism could be longer compared to a healthy and strong young person. Okay, so if you're somewhere between 20 to 30, you might be able to make antibodies more quicker and your immunity is more stronger compared to an older person. Similarly, a child's immunity is also very, very vulnerable. So if a child below 10 years of age is taking a vaccine, also how the body responds and how quickly an antibody production is stimulated also depends from the age. It depends on the sex of the person. It also depends on whether the person is healthy or has any existing or prevailing medical conditions. All right, ladies. So, of course, the vaccine will work, but it takes time from person to person as to how much time it might take for your body to get prepared with the defense system before you could get exposed to that particular virus. Especially, it does not happen for the other diseases for which we are getting vaccinated when we are young, like malaria, typhoid, etc. So maybe during the lifetime, if we may get exposed to that particular pathogen, then our body is getting ready. But especially in the pandemic situation which we are facing right now, it's better for us to take precautions even after taking the this vaccine for a month or so that our body is fully prepared to fight against that particular virus. Clear, ladies? Any doubts or questions? I guess I have to ask you now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, ladies?
Yes,
Miss. Can I ask?
Or any questions?
Yes, Miss. Can I ask you?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So, Miss, like the vaccine, are we supposed to take it? Can we take it when we already have the disease?
When you're already fighting the disease?
Yeah.
No, during that time you cannot take it. After you get recovered, you can take it.
But Miss, already if we got recovered, the body already have the antibodies.
Mm-hmm. How? Yes. For example, if I'm infected with COVID-19 now and I'm getting treated for the COVID-19, so how will I get treated? So the first thing is I will take medicines in order to stop the multiplication of the COVID-19. Then I will take more medicines in order to make my immune system stronger. I'm recovering. During this time, if my body cannot recover, if my body cannot fight that COVID-19, even after taking so many medications, then I will die. Isn't it? But if I have recovered, alhamdulillah, by taking those medicines, then my body has then defense mechanism already against the COVID-19 virus now. So I need not take a vaccine for the COVID-19. So vaccine is what? Is this question being asked by Rawan or Mice?
Yes, Miss. Mice.
Mice, okay. Mice vaccine is a weakened pathogen or a dead pathogen which is being injected into my body, isn't it? So if I'm already infected with COVID-19 virus, how does it help that if I'm taking another dead COVID-19 virus into my body? It will not help. Now I have the COVID-19 already and my body is bare. My body does not have a vaccine also, a prior dead COVID-19. If it has been taken into my body, then my body would have been prepared for a response to fight against it. So now my body has already a live COVID-19 has entered my body. So it is starting its action now. So I'm getting the symptoms. My body is trying to fight. My WBC are trying to produce more antibodies so that I can fight against this COVID-19. So during this time, the doctors will try to give me more medicines which can make my immune system stronger. For example, they will be treating my prevailing conditions. For example, if I have a breathing problem, they will try to improve my breathing. If my blood pressure has dropped, they will try to increase my blood pressure. If I am a heart patient, if my heartbeat is going low, they will try to improve my heartbeat by putting me on ECG, by giving me oxygen, by trying to keep me alive. So this is what the doctors can do. Okay, but ultimately if my immune system breaks, if I am unable to fight the COVID-19, I will die. But if my immune system is good, after 7 days, once the COVID-19 symptoms have started, but my body has made the antibodies against the COVID-19, within 7 to 8 days, my body's fought against the COVID-19 and killed it, then I will emerge back as a healthy person. Okay, so during this time, you think it will help if I'm taking a vaccine which is an dead COVID-19 again into my body? Mice?
Miss, can you repeat the question?
Okay, so when I'm fighting this COVID-19, when I have the COVID-19 infection now, if I'm taking a vaccine during that time, the vaccine is what? A weakened COVID-19 is again being injected into my body on top of a live COVID-19 virus in my body. Will it help?
Miss, I didn't get the question.
You didn't get the question. All right. Shahid, did you get what I just told you, or Rawan?
Yes, Mouse.
Yes. So can you please explain mice in your own words? Maybe she'll be able to get it. Shahid?
If you already have the virus, if you're already trying to fight off the virus, and then you add more of the same virus on top of that, it will be a lot of work for your body to fight off, since it's a lot of, I guess, virus. I don't know.
Yeah, virus. COVID-19 is a virus. If you are giving the example of COVID-19, yes. Okay, let me explain mice now. Let me pull out my whiteboard from here. Maybe we can try to help mice in understanding this. Okay, that was a very good question, mice. That is normal. The student should get such doubts as to, yes, why not? Why can't we take a COVID-19 vaccine? Why can't we give it to a patient? So here you need to understand what is a vaccine and how does it help. So that it is very, very important for you to clear the concept over here. Okay. Give me a moment, mice. It does not work when I want it to work, this whiteboard. Come on. Never mind, let me open a notepad. Okay. Okay, it's working now. Okay, let me open the whiteboard. Okay, here it is. All right. Okay, mice. So, imagine this is me. All right, mice? Okay. Mice, can you view the screen or can you hear me? Okay. So, I have been infected with the COVID-19 now. So, we will write COVID-19 has entered my body now. Clear? Okay. So now what will happen to me as soon as I get a positive for COVID-19, mice? What symptoms will I get?
Fever.
Fever.
Heartbeat. Yeah.
My heartbeat will go low. I will have a breathing problem, isn't it? And I will get admitted in the hospital immediately, because I have to take precautions. I will be isolated immediately so that my family members will not catch this COVID-19 infection. So now I am a COVID-19 positive patient. So I have been taken to the hospital. In the hospital now I'm suffering. I have a breathing problem. I cannot breathe. My blood pressure has gone down. My lungs are not working properly. And I am trying to fight the COVID-19 now. Right, mice? Okay. Now, the doctor is coming to test me. Now, what is the doctor's first responsibility? What will he do? Will he try to protect me first, mice?
No, he will first try to protect himself.
Okay, great. Yes, he will wear a mask. He has all the, he is wearing this, what do you call, the kit, the entire kit in order to protect himself. I don't know what is it called. Okay, he's wearing all that suit, he's wearing mask, he's covering his eyes, and he's coming to me to check, and he's given me oxygen, and he's asked the nurse to check my heartbeat, whether it is in control, and I'm given various medicines so that the water does not enter my lungs and my lungs are working properly. All right, so I'm fighting the COVID-19 now. So during this time, if according to you, the doctor gives me a vaccine of COVID-19, okay? So what is a vaccine, mice? Can you tell me what is a vaccine?
A weakened antigen.
Okay, so here the vaccine would be a weakened pathogen of COVID-19, okay? So my body already has a live COVID-19 in my body, the virus in my body, which is causing these symptoms in me, the breathing problem. I'm getting this COVID-19 disease now, I'm fighting this over here. On top of it, if a dead COVID-19 pathogen is being injected into my body, will it be of any help? How does it help it now? You tell me. Yes, mice?
Oh yes. No, yes, it won't help.
It won't help. If I was a healthy person, then how will it help it? If I was a healthy person, I don't have COVID-19 now. I'm very healthy. Now the doctor has given me a COVID-19 vaccine. Then what happens, mice, in my body once I take a COVID-19 vaccine? A weakened pathogen of COVID-19?
You'll produce a memory cell.
Yes, my body will start producing antibodies in order to fight this weakened pathogen, because my body doesn't know that it is a weekend. Then my body will produce antibodies and memory cells. So my body is ready with the defense mechanism now after a month or so after I've taken a vaccine. So in this case, when I've already taken the vaccine, now if a live COVID-19 enters my body, then what happens, mice?
Yeah, your immunity is well established. Yeah, so your body will
fight against it, isn't it? So my body has a different mechanism ready now. So my body will successfully fight it. Even before you get the symptoms of COVID-19, you will kill this particular COVID-19 pathogen and you are a healthy person. You are a winner now. But in this case, for me, I haven't taken a vaccine. And now, even if I take a vaccine, it will not help me. Because what good is it if I'm taking another COVID-19 when there is a live COVID-19 in my body itself? So in this scenario, within 7 to 15 days, if I'm able to fight back this COVID-19 with the help of the doctors, my lungs are working, I'm on oxygen, and my body has produced the antibodies. My immunity was very, very good, and I was able to kill this COVID-19. Okay, then I will come out a healthy person. So now, do I still need a vaccine, mice, after I have fought against the disease after 15 days and I'm alive now? Do I still need a COVID-19 vaccine now?
Oh no, I don't think so.
No, why?
Because your body already produced the antibodies.
Perfect. Right answer, mice. You got it correct. So now my body has a defense mechanism already for the COVID-19 because I killed it. I fought it. So I don't need a vaccine anymore because my body has a lifelong defense against COVID-19 now because my body produced antibodies, which is active immunity, and also it has memory cells. If my body couldn't fight this COVID-19, then obviously I will die. So the vaccine will not help after a person got infected with COVID-19. Is the question answered, mice?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Any more doubts or questions, ladies? Ladies, any more doubts or questions? Is it clear? All right, then the time is 10:26 already, so I will post the homework on the group, ladies. I'm sorry for taking extra. I believe it's only 1 minute I've taken extra. Okay, never mind. So take very good care of yourselves until we meet next time, inshallah. Let me download the attendance. It is 19 attendees. I'm going to post the homework on the group, ladies. Any more doubts or questions? All clear? Hello. All right, ladies, then have a wonderful day ahead and take care. Bye-bye. You may leave the session. Thank you.